The Oracle Network.
It's really so many. Sarah, there's a spider in there.
Wait, where?
Over
What?
there. There's a spider in here.
Stop it. Kill it right now, Michael.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, you had to do the stairs 3 fucking times, you bored me.
Well,
Oh, you're getting your steps in.
I'm gonna have to go to bed now.
I can take it from here, babe.
Oh, you're...
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's
Great job,
so
Michael.
gracious
So
if you would
nice.
like to press the button.
Yeah. Well, you wanna?
No, really, that's nice of you.
I know. Your arm.
I know.
You can't. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because your arm. All right. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it.
Yep, that's for you.
That's for you, Anna.
Sup, guys?
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby.
And I'm Shauna.
And this is Anxious.
And afraid.
Welcome to our podcast.
Yep. Where we talk about things that make us scared.
Or, yeah, scared or give us anxiety, like conspiracies or murders or
All the weird stuff.
weird stuff.
That's what we dig.
Disappearances.
Yeah, that's kind of been my jam. I need to do more of those.
Those are fun to talk about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you're not.
Yep.
And what made you anxious and afraid this week?
Just today, Michael and I were we were driving and we were about to turn on to Main Street. We were sitting at the light when we see a convoy, meaning like at least 6 cars or trucks that were decked out in Trump flags and
They're still fucking around.
signs that said Biden fucking sucks or like fuck Biden or something like that.
That's
and
so
like
funny.
or Trump won. They had all of these signs and they're like honking and like
Bad.
I was like so secondhand embarrassed. Like, oh my God,
That
I
is so
can't
embarrassing.
believe that they live close to me.
Right? And like, they just want to cause a ruckus and make noise because you still want to like just... Why are you so hard for this one dude? It's weird to be obsessed with this one dude.
Yeah, he doesn't
Who's
like you
awful.
back.
Who doesn't like you back? No.
Anyway.
That's so funny because I saw it was a red truck on the way here and it said a fuck Biden flag.
Oh, he's probably from that group. But I was just like,
For sure.
You guys all got together. This was an event for you? What are you doing?
Like, I don't understand.
Get a hobby. Anyway,
gonna
it gave
lie.
me anxiety.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is sad.
It's especially the last year or so. It's actually been eye-opening to me how much of a conservative town we are actually in.
Oh, for sure.
And like just the state, like we're just around, we're all mixed together, and it's
Yeah.
just, yeah. When like those protests were happening, it was just weird. I'm like, wow, I live next to people that aren't chill,
Not chill.
not chill.
Not chill at all. There's some unchill behavior.
Yeah. So sorry if you're one of those, but also not sorry.
Calm down.
Just move on,
Be calm.
like you told us to do when he won. Anyways,
So anyway, it was a little ridiculous, and we were just like,
it's ridiculous. Like, be an
Oh.
adult. Just be an adult.
how about spend your Saturday fishing or grilling or
Something productive.
fun. Something fun.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't. That was all.
I don't really have anything either.
Okay.
I don't go out. We're still at home most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. We are vaccinated though, so that's cool.
That's true.
We're all fully vaxxed.
So maybe we should start doing more things.
Now we have no excuse.
Yeah.
Well, how about instead we talk about our episode today? What are we doing? 72. Episode
72.
72.
Climbing on up there.
Here we go. Are you ready?
What are you bringing us today?
So today, I have a really weird and creepy mystery
Mysteries galore.
for you.
Yay.
Yes, it's a mystery.
Okay.
And I think, well, I said it's been long enough since we've done a mysterious case, but you just gave us one.
Ah,
But I'm going to give you another mystery.
love it.
Okay. So today's story has been described as the most compelling evidence of paranormal phenomena
Okay.
of the 20th century.
All right, some more paranormal.
Yes, I'm doing another paranormal story.
You're like obsessed.
Sue me, okay? I'll do something different next time.
Okay.
But I'm still swimming in the paranormal
Hey.
for now.
Gotta do what makes you read and research.
This is what's floating my boat for now,
Right.
okay?
Right? I mean, for a while I was doing like plane crashes. And
Yeah.
so,
We go through our phases. Okay, so today we will be discussing the mystery of the Belmez Faces.
Bélmez Faces? Mm-hmm. Okay, so faces.
Faces.
Okay.
Nothing.
I don't know yet. No.
Okay. All right. So it's such a weird and unsettling case. I'm going to try and show you some pictures during.
Yes.
And I suggest our listeners look up, like, the pictures that we post, or just look up photos on Google. Just Google Belmez Faces to see what they look like when I start
Okay.
talking about it, because it's just, like, the story is extra weird and creepy if you see
Should I
it.
Google it right now on my phone?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll let you give me the
I
experience.
already have it pulled up in
Okay.
advance.
All right.
Don't worry. All right, let's get started.
I'm excited.
So our story takes place in the small town of Belmez de la Moraleda in Spain, on August 23rd of 1971.
Okay.
52-year-old María Gómez Cámara is just doing her thing and hanging out in her small whitewashed home. She's just puttering around her kitchen and she's preparing dinner for her family. But she wasn't feeling so hot that evening. So when she was done cooking, Maria left the kitchen to go lie down. But before she could get to her room, she heard a startled cry from her grandson who was still in the kitchen. Maria's like, "Can a woman get a nap around here?" And she turns around and she goes back to the kitchen to check on her grandson. When she re-enters the kitchen, she sees her horrified grandson staring at a dark stain on the concrete floor next to the stove.
Okay. Did she? Okay. Was it there before?
No.
Ooh.
Maria at first was probably like, well, he's being a little dramatic. To her, the dark spot appeared to just be like a cooking oil stain. But as she drew closer to examine the dark blotch, she started to see what had upset the boy so much.
And he was a young boy?
Yeah,
Okay.
youngish. Within the dark stain, Maria began to make out the distinct features of a human face. 2 eyes, a nose, and lips.
Okay.
Yeah. Over the next few days, Maria watched with horrified fascination as the dark stain moved positions on the concrete floor.
Ew, okay.
But even though its location moved, the facial features stayed consistent.
Okay, so she is not deciding to clean it.
Well, she does. So, okay. So I'll continue.
Okay, sorry.
So Maria was a good God-fearing woman, and she wasn't about to let a creepy face soil her clean kitchen floor. Something most grandmas would agree on, I'm sure. So she starts scrubbing vigorously at the floor. She scrubbed and scrubbed with all of her grandma might, but the stubborn stain refused to leave. According to Maria, the face only seemed to grow more distinct.
Like a sharper face image.
It just continued to get sharper
Interesting.
as she, even though she's trying to clean it. Like, it's probably like sticking its little tongue out at her. Unable to withstand seeing the creepy face any longer, Maria enlists the help of her husband and son, Juan and Miguel, who went about solving the problem with more testosterone than finesse. Juan's like, "Don't you worry, BB, I'm about to mess that face up."
BB.
And he and Miguel take pickaxes to the concrete floor.
Oh, they're going to smash this. Motherfucker. That's funny.
Then they completely remove that section of the concrete, and then they mix up some new concrete, and they just re-pour the floor.
Hey, I mean, that's how you take care of it.
Yeah, they smooth it all out so it doesn't look like anything weird ever happened.
Okay.
Quick fix, right?
Talent.
Wrong. Within a week, the face had made a victorious comeback.
Ooh.
And it didn't take long for the news to travel around the small village. Actually, let me show you the face really quick.
Okay. What a weird thing to happen. Like, why that particular spot on the floor? Like,
And you're going to just be like so super creeped out. Hold on.
okay, I'm ready. I know that humans like to find faces and things, but okay. For real? That looks like a legit face. That's okay, I'm shook. Okay, that's
Like there's like
there's
lines.
eyebrows.
Eyebrows, and there's like lines around the mouth.
Yeah, there's like the old droopy like cheek smile lines. there's pupils that are looking to the left.
It's just like an unmistakable face.
Oh, and it's a sharp chin.
Yeah.
Those eyes are detailed. Wow. Okay, that's intense.
Sure.
All right, that's a face.
That's a face. Michael,
That's a
do you want to
face.
see what it looks like?
I looked it up.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Here.
You're prepared.
He prepared. All right, so be shook by that.
I am.
Okay, so news of this creepy ass face is flying around the village. It's a small village, so it doesn't take long for the news to travel, and people began showing up at Juan and Maria's home.
I gotta see this face in
Yeah,
person.
they want to see it.
I would too.
And soon, lines were forming
my
outside
God.
of the home to get in.
Charge $10 to get in.
You would think. But they don't, because it's whatever. I would. So Juan and Maria, they're like, okay, guys, like we can see this is super fun for you, but we are deeply disturbed. So
Yeah.
we're thinking we're going to have to bring our friends the pickaxes back to the kitchen to have another conversation with the floor. But before they could rip up the floor again, the mayor of Belmez, Manuel Rodriguez Rivas, was told of the mysterious faces appearing on the Cámara family floor and ordered them to hold off on construction. So he's like, don't destroy them.
Okay.
The mayor ordered the piece of floor showing the face to be cut out and removed in order to be submitted for scientific analysis.
Yeah, like what is that made of? Why is there a stain that's black?
Gotta find out. So
Okay.
it's a great decision.
Yes.
Man of science. The face had been dubbed La Pava, or the kettle, probably because it had been found near the stove.
Okay.
Yeah.
So original.
Interesting name. And after the removal of the chunk from the kitchen floor, the Cámara family pleaded with the town officials to help them. Clearly, the pickaxe solution was not working, so the town officials went to investigate the site and decided it would be best to excavate the entire kitchen floor and take a peek underneath.
This poor family is just like having to uproot their kitchen.
I know!
Oh, that
And
sucks.
it's like a little tiny house.
And that's where you live because you like live for the cooking of the food.
Right, she's the grandma. That's like her.
That's where she lives.
That's her church. And they are ruining it. All right. So they're hoping that the source of whatever is staining the floor is maybe deeper than like when Juan had dug the first time.
Okay, yeah.
So with that decision, the excavation on the kitchen floor began. First, the layer of concrete was removed, and then the workers started digging. They passed the foundation of the home and dug deeper still. When they had dug about 8 to 9 feet down into the cold, hard earth, the workers hit something. Are you ready for this?
No, but yes.
You're not.
Okay.
The laborers had unearthed a mass grave of human skeletal remains.
Ew.
And perhaps the most shocking of all was the fact that many of the skeletons were missing their heads.
Oh no.
We don't ever get an answer to why.
Oh wait, so there was more than one body?
Yeah. Lots of bodies.
Oh no, your house is built on bodies.
Like
No.
literal graveyard.
Oh no.
Yes. Well, they're bones at this point, but
Well, still,
yeah.
that's creepy.
So who these people were and why they were beheaded remains a mystery.
Okay.
The remains were exhumed and analyzed to try and determine some clue as to the identity of these poor people. Scientists found that some of the bones dated back to the 13th century.
Whoa.
And according to an article from the BBC, after further study, found that the house was built in the 1830s over what had been a Christian cemetery. Before that, it was a Muslim burial site. And before that, the Romans had laid their dead there.
Oh, you just have a variety, a mixture of lovely dead people.
Just like triple cemetery
haunted as fuck for sure.
of so many different people. Just a...
And so much history. It's
That's
old.
13th century. That's crazy.
That's old.
So yeah, their house was built on a cemetery. It's basically not ideal.
It's not ideal.
And I don't think it was probably like disclosed to them.
No, probably not.
So the remains were given a proper burial in a Catholic cemetery by the Catholic Church. Even though they weren't Catholic, it doesn't sound like. Anyway, with the removal of human remains out of the way, the Cámara family was still able to fill the hole back in and pour a new concrete floor in the kitchen. The family thought they would finally now be able to get some peace after that period of absolute madness in their home, and for weeks, they were right. The floor looked nice and normal, no weird faces popping up to judge your cooking.
You'd be checking that every day, man.
Right? Just be like staring at the floor.
And it's so crazy because it's concrete.
I know.
Like, that's hard. Like, nothing can come at that's. I'm baffled.
And like newly poured concrete too. Yeah. So what do we know about ghost and renovation, Shauna?
They don't like it.
They don't fucking appreciate it.
Nope.
Correct. As we said before, they don't cope well with change and they don't cope well with construction.
They're set in their ways and they like how they like it.
Yeah. So weeks after the new floor was poured, another face appeared
This is wild in the same spot.
in the kitchen floor. Yeah.
Okay, but not in the exact same spot.
No, because they shift and move. So it's like,
I guess you did say that.
Yeah.
Ew, but it's all in the kitchen.
yeah.
Get out of the kitchen. Go in the living room.
Yeah.
Just get out of the kitchen.
Yep. They
That's
like it in there.
creepy.
So another face appeared and then another face appeared
There's 2 faces now at the same time.
and then another face
There's
appeared.
3 faces.
Now there's 3 faces.
Ew.
But then soon several faces were materializing in dark stains on the brand new concrete floor.
It's like the ghosts are like appearing on your floor.
And they're just like staring at you.
Why do we need to see your face on the kitchen floor? That's weird.
I know.
And like, okay, I'm excited. Do you have more pictures?
Yeah, I'll show you more.
Okay,
pictures.
I'm okay. All right.
Yeah. So yes, and within these faces, men, women, and children were all represented.
Get out of town.
Yeah, as you said in a previous episode, it was a ghost party.
Ghost party.
And just as before, the faces would morph and move, sometimes changing faces in just a couple of hours.
So like their expression on their face?
I think just the face is just like shifting around on the floor, like it's like moving.
So it's staying the same, but it's just like the image is sliding around a little bit.
But also they describe like that the faces would like shift and morph. So
Yeah, like are the eyebrows moving?
one winks.
Ew, I don't like that. Or the mouth goes open.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get to. There's not like a video that I saw of like them the like changing positions or whatever. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
allegedly, I guess. But
allegedly, it's all very creepy.
either way, there's faces appearing on the floor.
Yeah, like distinct faces,
Concrete floor.
like recognizable. It's not like, oh, that could be a face. Like,
It's not like 2 holes in a slant
Yeah.
for a mouth. It's like,
although some of the ones that you'll see are, but like some of them are just like, it's a face.
it's a legit person.
Yeah, it's weird.
Creepy. I've never heard of anything like this.
And just as before, these stains refused to budge, no matter how hard Maria was scrubbing at the floor.
And they're all black, and we don't know if it's like an oil stain or anything.
Not yet. Like it just seems, yeah, it's like a dark.
It looks
black.
like charcoal art, honestly.
Yeah, or like if you like saw oil poured on the floor or something, like it's just like a dark stain.
So weird.
So Maria can't get these stains out of her floor, and poor woman, if she's anything like my grandma, this would horrify her.
They can't have stains.
And being famous for having a stained floor.
What shame.
Shame, the shame. And Maria's house did become famous as news spread about the return of the creepy faces after remains had been recovered beneath the house. The lines outside of Maria's home grew longer and
Oh, I bet it like
longer.
tripled.
Right, just like, God, that's such a crazy story. So everyone wanted to witness the disturbing faces for
Can you imagine that
themselves.
many people going in and out of your house?
Fuck no.
Leave me alone.
That is my actual nightmare.
That's
Like,
all day long.
I'll take the faces, please. Like, don't come in my house.
Yeah, like you're not only dealing with the creepiness of what's happening, then you're just having a line of people go through your house all day.
Complete strangers.
You're not even charging them.
And they're tourists.
So much money can be made.
They're just like putting their grubby little hands on everything.
Ew, yeah. Germs.
Don't like it. We're such shut-ins. Okay. So everyone's coming around. They want to see this house, and it's not just the townspeople anymore. The story had garnered national attention, and people from all over the world were coming to see it. Journalists, religious officials, debunkers,
Sure.
and everyone in between stood in line for their chance to see the famous faces. And the house became known as the Casa de la Caras, or the House of the Faces.
Makes sense.
And it was reported that Maria nor anyone in her family ever charged admission to see the phenomenon.
Missed opportunity. I've been saying this whole time. At least charge $1.
Come on.
A quarter.
Well, the only thing that I found about anyone actually making money was there was a photographer who took pictures of the floor and sold them to tourists for about the equivalent of $1 US.
All right.
So they could be making maybe a little side hustle if they're in on that, but I couldn't find if they were in on that. But they were, I don't know.
But that's also compelling that they didn't. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they made these faces and they were like, come see these faces and I'm going to charge you and this is all fake.
They didn't have like a little admission booth set up.
Right. So crazy.
Yeah, they're just like letting people waltz into their house, which is so crazy to me.
Sucky.
So yeah, there was the photographer. I also saw one other story in a 1999 BBC article by Daniel Schwimler. It's almost like Schwimmer. Who traveled to Belmez to see the phenomena for himself. He went to Maria's house and saw the strange stains on the floor, along with other faces that had been cut from the concrete and put into frames to be displayed on the wall like art. But he had to leave quickly when a nun showed up to care for Maria, who was ill at the time. She never charged him admission, but after he left, a local asked him if he had seen the face of General Franco under the table. That was like their dictator. The journalist told him that he hadn't, and the local replied, that's because he didn't pay her. She wants money before she shows that one. So there is that account where it's like it could be said that Maria was making money off of a self-made hoax, but it's important to note that the journalist was never actually asked for money from Maria.
Okay.
So
facts.
You know, there is like
supposedly.
I know. It's like
they're not really facts.
Facts, which is a story I heard from this guy.
Pretty much hearsay.
Yeah. So that's interesting, but
it is interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of all I could find on if she ever asked for money. But before we go on too much further, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're back. Welcome back.
I
hope you had a nice break. So before I go on too much further, I want to show you some of these other faces. Just so you can get the vibe for what's going on in this house and what everyone else is coming to see.
Okay. Huh. Oh, no. Some of these are still really detailed.
Yeah.
Real spooky stuffs.
Yeah, Michael, did you look at all of them?
I think I looked at too many of them.
They are now in my nightmares.
Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about
there's shading involved. It looks like art on some of these.
Napoleon Dynamite. I like your shading.
I don't remember that.
On the upper lip.
Sick shading.
Yeah, this is Nutter Butters. Like, ooh, even one looks kind of like skeleton-y.
It's just very unsettling.
It's very unsettling because these are so clearly faces. Like, there's one where there's like 3 next to each other.
Yeah, and that kind of looks like a kid. And
it looks like a little baby.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can see the shoulders now and neck and the arms.
Yeah, some of these aren't just faces now. They're just like...
This is bonkers.
It's weird.
This is the weirdest thing ever. Weird. I've never seen or heard or anything. I mean, I've heard of like seeing... you know, what's her name? Mary and a piece of toast. Like,
the mother, Mother Mary and the piece of toast.
Sorry, I'm not religious, but yeah, this is just a lot and way more detailed and crazy.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay, everyone. I hope you also looked at some more photos.
Please look at the photos. We post them everywhere.
Really creepy. Okay, so by the time fall and winter rolled around, the flood of visitors showed no sign of stopping. It was reported that the Cámara family house would see as many as 1,000 visitors a day.
Oh my God.
And up to 10,000 on the weekends.
Oh, that's insanity.
I'm uncomfortable.
That is wow.
That's like earlier than you'd like and later than you'd like.
That's what Michael thinks about.
And they're not taking off their shoes.
That is so many people. That is so annoying.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
There's no relaxation ever.
Ever. I don't think I could live that way. I really don't.
No.
Like, and I know a lot of people thought of it as like a religious pilgrimage, and so maybe that's why she thought she had to let them
Couldn't
see
say
it, because she was
no.
also deeply like religious, but like, the inconvenience.
Yeah, that is too much.
Yeah, it wouldn't be your house anywhere. I feel like you'd have to move.
Yeah, it's like a
Now your house is like a sideshow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. So that, I mean, the poor family, they just wanted to get rid of the faces too. And now they have no peace. Many of the visitors interpreted the stains to be more than just faces. Some people saw animals, naked women, kids, and even claimed to see Francisco Franco, who was Spain's ruling dictator at that time.
Okay.
Which was like that remark that one guy was like, "Did you see General Franco under the table?"
Right. So there's at least one that's like a public figure.
Yeah.
That they recognize.
Who's still alive.
Yeah, he was alive.
Oh.
Was he alive at that point? I think he was.
Ooh, I wonder what he thought about it.
Was he? He was like in their Civil War. I can't remember.
Whatever.
Sorry to give you history questions.
Like, oh God. You guys, I didn't read a book for this one. I didn't read about Spain's Civil War. No, I knew I would be tested.
No, you're good.
But no, he was alive. He was the ruling dictator at that time, so he was alive.
Okay.
So I don't know why his face be popping up. Maybe he's just such a guy.
Yeah, he can't be left alone. If he's a dictator, he has to have all the attention, right?
It's like, my face will be
I'm
on
gonna
that
get
floor
in
as well.
on this. Yeah.
Okay, so people also remarked that some of the larger, more distinct faces, they remarked at them and they named them. They named one of them El Palau, meaning the bald man, since he seemed to be hairless and old.
Makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, it does.
Along with the countless visitors was also a German paranormal investigator named Hans Bender, which I just can't help but think of like that show
Futurama.
Futurama.
Look what I have written on the board.
Oh! Oh no, that's weird.
I was gonna mention that as like the show that I've been watching a lot lately.
Well, Bender's in this one.
Oh, Bender.
This seems like a hijinks that Bender would get into.
Totally. And of course he would totally want his attention.
He would like disguise himself as like a German paranormal investigator.
Of course he would. I always love when he says, "I'm back, baby."
Yeah, baby. The way he says baby. Baby.
It gets so funny.
I know it, baby.
I love that show.
Great. So Hans Bender. Great name. Hans lectured on the subject of parapsychology and was responsible for establishing the Parapsychology Institute in Freiburg, which is very impressive. Mm-hmm. He was in Spain to witness the strange faces and to assist his friend and colleague in the investigation of their origins. His colleague's name was Germain de Argumosa, a parapsychologist who had been hired by the government to investigate and possibly debunk the House of Faces. Mm-hmm. Bender and Argumosa had some interesting theories as to what they thought was occurring in the home. One was that instead of a haunting occurring, the faces were being brought about using thoughtography. Try and stay with me here. The researchers argued that Maria was perhaps unknowingly projecting the images onto the floor using psychokinetic abilities.
It's just convenient to blame the woman. It's just blame the crazy grandma. No.
They're like, somehow we're going to make this Maria's fault, and she's doing it psychically.
Even if she doesn't know it, it's her fault. How annoying.
Maria's like, this is bullshit. Get out of my kitchen. So, yes, psychokinetic abilities. The researchers alleged that the images grew fainter when Maria was gone from the house, and the facial expressions on some of the faces seemed to mirror Maria's.
Okay.
They also seemed to only appear when Maria was present.
So it's not like they weren't permanently there?
They're saying like they were there, but when she left the house, they seemed to fade. But when she came back, they got stronger.
So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Bender and Argumosa decided to set up recording devices throughout the home to see if they could capture any paranormal evidence. They kicked the family out while they were conducting said research so they couldn't jeopardize the results. The investigators allegedly caught some disturbing things on the recording, including a voice. That would be honestly so creepy.
It starts literally animation.
A little tiny mouth starts saying, "Ew."
That's so gross.
Ooh, I'm still buried is one of the things they heard.
I'm still buried? Oh,
Yeah.
like they missed one?
I don't know, but like they're hearing this and they're like recordings.
Oh, that's creepy.
And hell starts here.
Oh,
No,
why does it have to be hell?
Hell's Kitchen.
Wow, genius we are.
Jesus. That's what she should have named it. Maria.
If only she knew.
So Bender and Argumosa also conducted an experiment where they covered a section of the floor with clear plastic and sealed the edges. This was witnessed by an official notary, which is kind of funny to me.
They have to make it like legally on paper, like official.
Yeah, because like from what I know of notaries, don't they have like a little stamp? That they
Yes, I used to be one, unfortunately, and I hated it.
You were an official notary, so did they have to like
Yeah, I had my special stamp. I still have it.
Would you have stamped the floor?
You have to stamp it.
Stamp the floor?
No, probably the paperwork.
Just put your little stamp on the concrete and sign it. I'm just picturing their notary doing that. It made me laugh.
That's funny.
Anyway, so they seal it off with plastic. And then they observe the faces morphing and changing from underneath the plastic over time.
I don't like it.
Right? In their eyes, this proved that the staining on the concrete was not manipulated by human hand. But of course, by now, many believed that it was either Maria or her son that were creating the faces on the floor.
Okay.
After examining the strange phenomena for himself, Hans Bender would be the person to declare that this was the most compelling evidence of paranormal activity in the 20th century. Although, to be fair, in Bender fashion, he never actually published an official report of his findings.
Okay.
But he did lecture on it. So government officials hoped that the sensation of the house of faces would eventually die down along with the strange phenomena happening on the floor. But they would become frustratingly disappointed when the faces continued to appear and morph over the next 30 years.
Get me out of here. That is such a long time. Ew. That. Ugh. All these emotions I have.
It's a lot of people coming into your house.
They're
30
still
years.
living there?
Yes.
No, don't live there anymore. No.
And it's just like this small little house, like,
Oh my God.
oh, good. Within that time, more testing would be conducted on Maria's floor. Thankfully, I read that the government did eventually build Maria a new kitchen located in a different area of the house.
Thank you. Give the woman her kitchen.
Yes. Because of all the tourists and investigators parading through her kitchen, the family would sometimes go for days without eating, and that just ain't right.
I'm offended. Like, people gotta eat. That's.
Are you kidding
Awful.
me? Like, if you're coming into my house, you better bring me a snack.
I'm sorry. I'd be like, get out of the way. Let me get into my fridge so I can make a sandwich.
Yeah. Very inconsiderate. She should have charged
They-
purely in snacks.
They also should have done that like right away. Like if they were
Right.
gonna, if they knew that they were gonna keep doing all these experiments on like people seeing it from outside, give the woman or give the family another
kitchen.
functioning kitchen so they can eat and cook food.
Yeah, well, they did it eventually,
Better late than never, I
I
guess.
guess. So, the governor of the province of Haine, which included Belmez, was ready for all of this madness to be over and ordered additional testing in the early 90s.
Wow, I was alive at this point.
I was alive!
Whoa.
We were. A section of concrete containing 2 of the faces was removed and taken to the Institute of Ceramics and Glass for further analysis in 1990. You might have been alive, but I wasn't yet.
Maybe I was towards the end of the year.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense if it was 30 years later. I don't know. I was shocked. Anyways,
Math, whatever. So, the rest of the floor was sealed off and covered with cloth. Jeez. Some sources said that it wasn't cloth, it was a jacket, but let's just go with cloth.
Okay.
Jacket doesn't sound very official.
No, it doesn't.
Just throw their jacket over it. We'll call that good. Before the floor was covered, it was photographed in sections, and the location of the faces were completely mapped out. This was done so they would know if the faces changed while under the fabric.
Heck yeah. Okay.
Then they completely sealed off the kitchen and allowed no one to enter for months.
Mm-hmm.
When they unsealed the room, the faces had indeed moved and changed in their absence.
They did indeed? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Oh. I thought for some reason you said they didn't, but...
Nope.
Okay.
Things are still moving and shaking.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Back at the Institute of Ceramics and Glass, a team was being led by Father J.M. Pilon to conduct granulometric and mineralogical and chemical tests on the samples in an attempt to detect the material staining the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
The government was obviously hoping they would find traces of man-made substances, lending to the theory that the whole thing was a hoax.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, the Institute found no evidence of any paint or dyes in the samples. They were baffled.
It's probably like ectoplasm, because that's ghost stuff.
Did you guys check for ectoplasm?
That's what ghosts use, right?
Clearly. I wonder what color that would turn, the test.
Yeah, I think we typically think it's green, but it doesn't have to be green.
Yeah. I don't know. Very interesting. So, as I said, the phenomena continued for decades after it first began in the early 1970s.
That's weird.
And as Maria neared the end of her life in February of 2004, many of the people who believed that Maria had a psychic connection with the images thought that they would fade and stop appearing on the floor after Maria's death.
I mean, if you think it's her, something's got to give, right?
Right. Maria reportedly said that God only knows why the images appeared to her, but she no longer feared them and hoped to see them in the afterlife.
Okay, now she's going to become one of them.
She's like, see you soon.
I'm going to put my face on there soon.
Oh, God. She's waving.
She has like a big grin on her face.
She does like the finger guns.
Like I told ya.
It's all good, y'all. It's great. Under the floor. So, when she did pass in 2004, at the age of 85, everyone waited to see what would happen to the floor. And to their amazement, the images continued to appear.
Ew.
Thousands came to pay their respects and bear witness to the new faces appearing on the concrete. And as far as I can tell, the images continue to appear to this day, although some have said not as frequently as when Maria was alive.
Okay.
Investigations continued, of course, since the freaky stuff was still happening, and again, the results were mixed, although some researchers did claim to find evidence pointing towards the whole thing being a hoax, perpetrated by Maria and then her son after she passed.
Okay.
In 2014, the home was visited by an investigative journalist TV show called Cuarto Milenio, hosted by Icar Jimenez. During the filming of the show, sensors that can allegedly detect paranormal energy were placed all around the house. Maria's son Diego was showing Icar around the house, and then he suddenly said he felt his mother's presence in her old bedroom. And just as he said that, the sensor in her room went off. Creepy. The show also had a chemical engineer and a forensic criminalist conduct tests on the samples taken from the home. Mm-hmm. The chemical engineer concluded that the images, quote, weren't made with paint, and, quote, according to scientific knowledge and techniques employed in the analysis, there is no external manipulation or elements in the faces. The forensic criminalist then attempted to connect with his inner painter and recreate the images using materials that many other skeptics over the years had theoried were being used.
Okay.
Some of the materials he used included concrete solvents, hydrochloric acid, and silver nitrate. All attempts to replicate the staining effect, however, failed, and the poor man was said to be fairly bewildered by it.
Because you ain't a ghost yet. Can't do it.
You can't perfect that technique without dying, bitch.
It's the ghost.
Duh. So, but there were others who have said to have found opposite results. A parapsychologist named Jose Luis Ordon Pena claimed that the faces could be replicated using vinegar and soot, and parapsychologist Ramos Pereira claimed that in special lighting, added pigmentation was clear, and he even claimed to see brush strokes. Other investigators over the years tested the concrete samples and claimed to find trace samples of pigment, including the images, concluding that the images could have been created by a person. Also, the fading of the images over time seem to support this theory. Even staunch believers in the supernatural will admit to seeing the faces cut from the floor and displayed fade over time as paint or dye would.
Makes sense, though. Okay.
But it still begs the question of why. Why would someone do this? For financial gain and attention?
Which didn't happen.
Right. The Cámara family certainly never got rich off of this, although it's hard to argue that they didn't reap any financial benefits. And I suppose they did become famous in a way.
Yeah, but do you want that kind of fame? I don't know.
It's one of those things where it's like, is the gain worth it? Like,
No.
all of the negatives I feel like outweigh the gains.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus,
maybe
you can't ever guarantee that's what's going to happen.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's baffling.
I mean, it could have started with something as small as like her son playing a prank, and then it just got too big to stop. Many locals believed that the faces were of religious significance, some going as far as claiming La Pava the saint of Belmez. Or maybe it relates some spirits of the poor people who lost their heads that were buried beneath the home.
Oh my God. They didn't have their heads, so they
Their
had
faces.
to draw their fucking faces. So it makes so much sense to me.
You're like, mystery solved.
It's like I said, it's the ghosts underground who didn't have their heads.
I kind of had that connection too. I was like, oh, well, yeah, their faces are coming up because they don't have their heads anymore.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it till just now.
But yeah, that's the end. That's the mystery.
Wow, I've never heard of such a thing.
And those faces are creepy.
Those are wild faces.
Yeah, and even like the dyes and like supposedly traces that they did find, a lot of people said they weren't in enough amount to make a painting out of. Like they found trace amounts. It wasn't like, so I don't know.
It's hard to prove, and that's also so much work if it's a hoax. Like
Over 30 years.
so much work.
They were like, well, maybe the son like knew about it, but he didn't want to ruin his mom's good name, so he kept it up after she died.
So it's all the son's fault.
To save her reputation.
That's tough, but that's bonkers.
Yeah, for not making a lot of money off of it. That seems like a big inconvenience. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird. Well,
It's a
great job.
Thanks. I hope you guys like that one. It's really weird.
That is so weird.
Very eerie.
Yeah.
Well, look at those photos. Yep.
We'll post them as we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So now what?
So now we have to do the city of the week.
Yes. And that goes to now our southern neighbors. Last week it was our northern neighbors.
Yes.
But thank you, San Diego, California.
Santiago.
Oh, I love California.
I've been to San Diego once. It was nice.
I need to visit there again. I don't think I've ever visited. Maybe as a kid, but
Yeah, I did all the touristy things.
yeah, they have like the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, we went to the zoo and the aquarium.
That's what I want to do.
It's pretty great.
Oh, the best. Anyways, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Love it.
And, well, I guess you already told us what you were watching. Or-
Yeah.
Futurama.
Futurama came up, which was super funny.
Bender.
Yeah, love that show. I also always put that on for like taking notes because just like easy to kind of listen to.
Yeah, it's one of those nice ones you can have in the background.
Yeah, I love it though. But I'll like just tell everyone where we're at, you know?
do it.
I'll do that. Okay, so our main thing is Anxious and Afraid, the pod. So that's our handle for both our Facebook our Facebook page and group, along with our Instagram and Gmail. We're also on Twitter at AA the pod. You can support us on patreon.com/anxious and afraid for some little mini perks, which is worth it. You should do it.
Do it.
And we also have some merch if you're interested, which is some cute little stuff. And you can find all of that listed in our episode notes and our website, which is really cute. And that's anxiousandafraid.com. Check it out. And if you don't want to donate any money, which is fine, but you can support us for free by leaving a rating or review and just like subscribing to our show and telling all of your other friends about us.
Yeah.
That'd be much appreciated. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Hey, good job.
All right. Well, good, Abby.
Thank you. Good night. All right, so I got my info from wikipedia.com, skeptoid.com, thelineup.com, mysteriousplanet.com, historicmysteries.com, and Parcasts Unexplained Mysteries podcast. Our music is by Broke for Free and Matt Edwards, and we're edited by Michael.
Anxious and Afraid is partnered with the Oracle Network.